Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECO. I'm out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I got some special people that's sitting down with me today. I got Essie in the building.
Hey, y'all.
In the building.
Oh, yeah, we with Boss Talk now.
Essie Vegas is in the building.
Hometown.
It's going down. And we sitting down with that guy today that needs no introduction. Boss Talk 101 alumni is in the building. Ayatollah Marv, a.k.a. OG PIRU, is in the building.
We here.
Man, what's going on, man?
You got it? Man, we out here with Essie from Vegas. You understand me?
It's
looking
going
proper.
down.
And she better not ask no terrible questions.
Let me ask you this, man. Like, you was here today, and you seen earlier. How did you think we did for the shoot that we done?
Oh man, we did the Boss Talk 101 Vegas pop-up.
Yeah.
The real Las Vegas Boss Talk 101 honeys. You got to check them out.
It's going down.
All sizes, all flavors, all available.
And right now we sitting here with she is the ambassador, the VP of it all. She will be running it. She will be figuring out what we gonna do with the honeys at all times. And
it's about figured out.
Oh, it's like that.
It's about figured out.
Oh, it did grab the hair like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, so I mean, but you know how it was, man. Like I said, you didn't see that one coming. We had talked about it. We didn't know how it was gonna turn out. But you know everything we do by faith. So we just show up and pull up. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly. It went well.
It went well. I can't wait till everything's done.
From the pool to the penthouse.
It went down.
From the pool to the penthouse.
I want to ask you, man, like you being a guy that you really, 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 like people don't know, you know, a lot of times how to look at the violence and the stuff that happens in the inner city, right? And you, one of the guys who originally seen how it all happened, you know, when you look back at the prisons back when you were young and you had to go and do time and coming back, and just the gangs that were in the prisons before the BlOODS, before the CRIPS, before the PIRUs, before any of that, what do you think about how they were moving? How was it with the jail, people coming out of jail? Were they even reflective of gang violence or going into those same, like once you got out of jail, did the gang thing continue or did it stop?
Man, I mean, the gang culture been all the way since Cain and Abel. So I mean, you know, they've been set tripping a long time with Jesus and his men. So it's nothing new to the culture, but we had in the old days it was a different identity to what gang culture was about, and it was about an elevation. And it was the elevation. They had the Slausons, the businessmen, the gladiators. And once you got into a prison situation, just before the BGF, Black Guerrilla Family, started, most of the black guys that came out in the 60s became in the Nation of Islam.
But when the Black Guerrilla Family came out, did any of that spear back into the society when they would come home, or did it just stay in the prison system?
It stayed in it came home, but it's a different reflection. Old man by the name of Death Row Jeff, Mr. Jefferson told me in San Quentin in 1975, he says that it ain't but two things y'all killing about in here. He said, it ain't no revolution. It ain't no revolution. They killing behind Sagoonies and dope. You don't use dope, you don't mess with punks. Why is you killing? You dig what I'm saying? So you got a mama that come visit you every month, whether she can see you or not.
That's right.
He came out of Cottonwood Road in Bakersfield, came to prison in 1948.
Wow.
5'4". If Mr. Jefferson said he was gonna kill you, they say just throw dirt over you.
It's like that.
He gonna kill you. He said that one time he told this man he was gonna kill him, and he went to the psychiatrist, and he told the psychiatrist for 3 years he had homosexual tendencies. And he went to Vacaville and killed his man. And that's what started the SLA. He met Sin Q, and he wasn't going home, but he sent Sin Q, and Sin Q kidnapped Patty Hearst.
Wow.
And Patty Hearst, if you look at the Patty Hearst story, they talk about when they was looking for Patty Hearst, they said if anybody can get Patty Hearst, it's one man, and that one man was Death Row Jeff in San Quentin.
Wow.
So William Randolph Hearst, one of the billionaires of California, had the LA Times, came to Mr. Hearst to ask him about, came to Mr. Jefferson to ask him about his daughter. And he was so fascinated with this Negro from Cottonwood Row in Bakersfield that he used to come up there every Friday and bring him a box of Havana cigars just to talk to Mr. Jefferson. And then when they brought Patty Hearst to justice and brought her to jail, he still came to visit Mr. Jefferson. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Till his dying day.
I want to ask you, like, when was the first time that you seen the Black Panther Party start to formulate during this time? Because that was their early time.
My mother took me to see the Black Panthers. She was trying to get me out of the Nation of Islam, right? So she wanted me to start eating pork chops and shit again. So 1966, she took me to the sports arena. And Huey P. Newton, H. Ralph Brown, the revolutionaries, they started. I was like, man, I was fascinated with the black leather coats and the tams, but I didn't like their doctrine.
What was wrong with the doctrine?
At the time, I didn't know the doctrine. Their doctrine was totalitarianism, federalism, communism. Not actually communism, but they followed the Red Book from Mao, Stalls in England, the Communist Manifesto. So they went through but they drank wine and did little. So then I found Kawahita, us, Maulana Ron Karenga. And that was dealing with Pan-Africanism. And it was an elevation of intelligence. That's how the 14 principles started. Kwanzaa, Maulana Ron Karenga, he started us, United Slaves. And so I was more prone to that, but I stayed with the nation. But yeah, the Black Panther Party was a boom. It came up and, it was doing your breakfast programs that you're having in the schools right now. The Black Panther Party started that.
Wow.
1967. Kidnapped some stuff and made them bring food to Oakland, East Oakland. That's why I call it the hub of revolution. It didn't start in Chicago. It didn't start in New York. It started in East Oakland.
So you're saying in East Oakland? I thought it didn't start in Chicago.
No, it didn't. It's Oakland. Huey Newton, they had the right to bear arms, and they came out and they were monitoring the neighborhoods. Wherever the police would stop, they would come across the street with shotguns. Because of the Black Panther Party, they made a law the next year that you couldn't bear arms without a license.
Wow.
So
crazy.
that was something to deter the Black Panther Party. And so then came on, and later on, George Jackson, then there was the Black Hand and became the Black Guerrilla Family. And George, they killed the police in 1969 when John Cloutier out of Compton, Fleet of Drum Go, Then the next year, 1970, my crime partner that you met yesterday, Jesse Phillips, and O.C. Allen, Jimmy James, they were the Solidad 7. They killed the police in Solidad.
What year was that?
1970.
1970, killed the police in Solidad.
Solidad. 1969, George Jackson and Fleeta, they killed the police in Solidad.
Were they from Compton, all of them? Or
No,
they was from different places?
Most of them from Compton.
It was 7 guys.
It was 7 guys.
Where was this at when it took place?
Solidad Central.
And basically,
Solidad
what was the
State Prison.
repercussions of that when that early in the game to see a police officer get killed like that?
Well, it was in California. We was killing them. They was killing
What made
them.
that one different? What made the 7?
Because that police allowed some whites to stab a black inmate to death.
Okay.
And at the time in prison, if you killed a black, we would kill 6 whites. That was the number. You understand me? It wasn't no set tripping against each other. It was your job, your dedication. If anybody did anything to a black in prison, they say whoever runs the prison runs the ghetto. In the 60s, we ran the ghetto. The blacks ran the prisons.
Well, back then you guys could smoke in prison and everything else.
No, you couldn't.
You couldn't.
No.
So that was a thing. Were people sneaking in like different?
Oh yeah, you could smoke.
You could smoke back then, right?
Yeah, you could smoke and
But
make
what
wine.
was they bringing in then? It had to be some kind of black market sales and stuff
They was
going
drinking
on.
wine.
They was getting
and
wine into
heroin was
heroin, and they was shifting around then.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So how did you stay? Was you figuring ways to hustle it, or did you not mess with it?
I didn't have to hustle. My mama came visit me. I'm my mama's boy, bro.
She kept some money on your books.
Every month. Me and Jesse, we from Compton.
Good.
If damn what you're going through, I didn't have no hard life.
So you just looked them dudes like they wasn't doing what they supposed to be doing in the world.
They was doing what they were supposed to be doing, but I didn't have to do it.
Wow.
My mama come and visit me every month, whether she could get in or not. Ran for me for 25 years. I had praised my mom. My mom did some shit.
For 25 years, your mom always consistently supported you, whether you was in prison, in the world, or wherever.
When I got to the world, I supported her.
Oh, okay.
She did for me, I did for her. I took my mother more places than I took any of my baby's mama. Took my mother to Hawaii, to Jamaica, to the Bahamas, bubbling brown sugar, purple, what's it, purple rain? Not, they just did Color Purple.
Yeah.
When Color Purple first started.
Yeah.
You know, Willa Mae, she deserved that.
Wow.
She got that. But just, you know, we went through the same, like I said, I didn't grow up in needing. I did what I did because I didn't like white America.
Wow.
I keep the crime. I've never stolen a black person's car. I've never broken a house. I'm too scared to break in houses. I do it with a gun. Do you want it enough to die for it? So we was running in thrifty stores like it was my mother think I'm at the library on Thursdays. In 10 minutes to 10, I'm up in the thrifty store. This is a murder. This is a robbery. Don't make it a murder. You understand?
Yeah, well, you gotta understand. The stories he tells is because of, like, when you look at the gang era and the way everything started, a lot of time there's questions. He's the guy that I call on the show that always kind of give me an understanding of what happened, and it helps everybody else too, because a lot of people, they jump on the comments. Some of them talk crazy to him about him, but
all of them talk crazy, man.
But most of the time he's giving you some news you can use on.
See, that's like the gang. Show you how the gang culture changed. I grew up under treetops because all our streets are named after trees. Elm Street, Cedar Street, and to be with us, if you ain't gonna jump me in a gang. If you hit me, I'm mad at you.
So
forever.
You never was jumped in a gang?
Hell the fuck.
Did you ever see anybody jumped in a gang?
Not you ain't my. We don't fight each other.
When I
That's
first
what
seen
they taught
people,
us.
Yeah, but when I first seen people jumped in a gang, it was on like the movies,
Colors or some shit like that. That's some pre-recorded shit. That's just like people tell you.
You heard
that was in the movies. That was in Dare in school. Every time we had Dare, that's how they told us that you enter a gang.
That's just like they tell you, and man, you go to prison, they gonna slide a note up into your door. Who in the fuck needs you? I'm not supposed to say fuck. Yeah, who needs you? You to come in when I went to prison from Youth Authority. I caught a case from Youth Authority that was in a riot, eliminated some shit, and came to San Quentin. Jesse Phillips was there. All my crime. I didn't know nobody was in San Quentin. But to get in the Black Guerrilla family, you had to be authorized by somebody legitimate had to vouch for you. And once they vouched for you, you had to go do an IB. Initiation of blood. You either had to kill a man or try to kill a man. If you didn't do that, stay your ass away. Everybody there was legitimate. It wasn't just these dudes are just conversation. I don't understand a dude that got a murder, kill a black person, and do 20 or 30 years and never kill a Mexican or a white in prison. What the hell that changed it?
Wow.
How all of a sudden you go to prison, you're a citizen. So, it's an accident. Murder changes your life. You're never the same person anymore. And then shooting somebody and going to jail, or you shot and they told you about the crime in custody, it's different.
Right.
And you think about it, you scared the first couple of days. Then you think about it, well, shoot, if the boogeyman can get in here, he can tell me how to get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But then it starts growing on you. Then when you get into, some people are born killers. I'm scary. I kill everybody on the planet, so I won't be scared no more.
Wow.
So it's a breed, and see, once like prison is like I say, it ain't but two things in the jungle: predator and prey.
Wow.
And if you're not the predator, you're the prey. So then you get into it, and I tell you, my first one went all wrong.
Oh shoot!
You understand me? I went in, and that morning they had rolls and eggs. I usually don't go to breakfast. I went to breakfast. I see the rolls and the eggs
prison.
In prison, San Quentin. I see the rolls and the eggs, and I went and scarfed them up. I'm like, wow. So we go in the cell on this dude. Me and my other partner go in the cell. We get to stabbing him. But I didn't know that people fight for their life in a 5x9 cell. This motherfucker grabbed me, was holding on, and now we got 3 minutes and 47 seconds to get out this cell. Now I start panicking. He's holding me. My partner stabbing him and stabbing him and stabbing him. He won't let go. And I'm trying to pull away, and I get so nervous I shit on myself. Don't tell nobody I said that. But it didn't go right. But I learned that day, before I get into anything, don't eat.
Don't eat.
Anything on your stomach when you panic coming out. Wow. One way or another.
Dang.
You see on the movies where the person see a dead body and they throw up. Oh, it's coming up.
One way or the other.
I believe it.
It's coming up.
What did you ever think? Did you hear all this on this set?
No, what?
From Vegas.
Tell your story. You know, like obviously I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't see a lot of that. You know.
You didn't see none of that.
But I hear when people tell their stories, I hear about it and I listen to it, and it's just amazing. It amazes me the ones that, you know, tell it testimony wise. You know, I learned from this.
Well,
this helps me see life in this perspective. Let me help you.
It's amazing to me that, you know, you to be here after all those years and to go through all that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the part that throw me off, because a lot of people didn't make it. And I know you had a lot of friends that you lost. I mean, some friends, did you ever go through a case where you lost a friend and you was there that pretty much...
I seen them die. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Could have been you. In prison, did you see one that was right there?
I got stabbed 3 times by Mexicans. A white boy came and stabbed me in the back and left the knife.
And you, what?
Left the knife. I couldn't grab it. And the doctor said if I had grabbed it, it was so close to my lung, it would have hit. The police was telling me to get on the ground. And I wasn't going to die in prison, so I kept walking.
So how did he even, why would he stab? Was it a riot, or he just didn't like you, or did y'all have beef?
I had problems.
What happened to make him want to stab you?
Because he was Aryan Brotherhood, and I had done something to some of his people.
Okay.
You do something to somebody, people, you think they like that?
Okay, so you had a confrontation with what somebody in the area?
I had a contract on me for the shit for my past sins.
Yeah. And they saw you.
And I'm standing in the, I'm thinking I'm aware, but when it's your time, it's your time. I'm standing in the line with some other comrades, and we look at it, and I'm standing in the line waiting for the canteen. And he run up on me and put one in my back and ran.
Man.
Damn.
So did he just stab you one time and ran?
All he needed, 1,000 votes. Shooting is one thing, to get stabbed with cold steel, bro, that's a different kind of thing.
And that was a shank?
That was a shank.
What did they...
8-inch.
What did they make the shank out of? Do you know?
Yes, they make it out of anything steel. They
all
get
the way
the
through?
Steel shot all the way through to almost to my lung. Hit me.
How long did it take them to get there and to get you to the infirmary?
And to get me nowhere, I walked myself.
You walked to the infirmary?
What the hell you talking about? You think I was gonna lay down? They told me to lay down. I'm not laying down. I'm not gonna die. But the doctor said if I had laid down and the knife would have moved, it would have punctured my lung, and I'd have died.
Wow, good.
It wasn't my turn.
Did you know not to lay down? You knew that would.
I didn't know shit.
That's what I'm saying. Just reaction told you.
I wasn't laying down, bro. I was not gonna die in prison.
So your instinct kicked in and said, "Don't lay down."
You just get to the doctor's office. I couldn't grab it. I was trying to grab it and pull it out. I couldn't. It wasn't for me to touch.
So what was the procedure to them taking it out?
Right.
Well, they put me to sleep.
They put you to sleep.
Hell, they better. Cause shit, I don't do pain well. I cry like a hoe. Like you talk about Tyrese crying, shit, the grown man crying, shit. Get this out of me. Get it out of me. Please get it out of me.
Do you feel like men should cry? You feel like men should cry?
You know what?
Do you feel like men should cry? When you seen
Do
the
I feel like men should cry?
Let me tell you something.
Should men cry?
If you get shot, if you get stabbed, or if somebody steal your vagina, you need to cry.
But let me ask you this, because Tyrese was on Breakfast Club, and when he was on there, he ends up thinking about his mom passing. He thinks about his divorce. That was one of the big key moments where he cried, because he felt like, he said that if a woman have a miscarriage, you know, it hurt him, and men cry about stuff like that. Do you think that Tyrese is overly emotional, or do you think that he's just going through it?
Let me say this. This is my own little bitty belief and dealing in my life. I see people cry and hoop and holler. The only people that cry and hoop and holler about you is because they did you fucked up when you was alive. Now you didn't have a chance to say this, and now all this, it ain't grief, it's guilt.
Wow.
So if you're saying, well, abortion, you probably told her to go get an abortion, more likely, because you didn't believe the baby was yours.
Or miscarriage.
A miscarriage.
She was carrying the baby and it lost it.
Yeah, just lost it. I had a couple of them, you know.
What did you do?
I think I dodged the bullet.
Well, that's good. I hear about that a lot. I hear about that a lot.
Dodged the bullet.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be.
Because some things happen to you and it wasn't meant to be. All the time you have a baby, it's not out of love, it's out of lust.
Yeah.
And some things can happen. In Islam, it says that before you have sex, you're supposed to pray and hope everything come out all right. And after you, because they say the devil, Iblis, can jump into the sexual act and the baby become a devil.
It's the easiest for the devil to come in for some lust. But I understand men should cry when they're getting stabbed, or, you know, it's that violent, of course. But when it comes to other things, I like your perspective when you say it's more of guilt, especially when the cycle continues. So interesting. I just had to ask. I was very curious.
Wow. I just, like I said, Tyrese cried, man. It was hurtful. He did a lot of, on that end, he wouldn't take no tissue either.
Because he was, you know, he's an actor.
You think he was acting?
He didn't cry on the Fast and Furious, did he? All that jumping and shit he didn't hurt himself. That was something to cry about.
I don't think he cried on there.
And not at all. So, I mean, you know, this drama for your mama, you know, let God.
So do you think actors can just, they can turn on?
How many times Tyrese cried in his career?
He cried a lot. He cried a lot when his old lady and him, they broke up. He was crying. He
made a record.
He made a record.
And all the girls bought it.
So
he's a crying man. That's a weak ass man. What the fuck you crying for? See, y'all make me live. I'm trying to stop profanity.
No one is saying that you're
No, he's talking about the profanity. I know he's talking.
He's saying it with his chest. He's saying it with his chest. He's like,
so do you feel like I mean, you go through stuff, but I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's the guilt.
You go through it. You know, like it's some things that I was telling my daughter one time that my sister had told me something about my children. I was telling you earlier about the phone visit when she went with somebody else and I didn't know about it. I thought we were still good, but I knew we wasn't good. I'm sitting in Solidad Central in love with a woman that just can't stand me. You dig what I'm saying? She getting all the priorities and doing all this other stuff. So when the realization came in that she was having sex with this other man, you dig what I'm saying? When the realization came in that this was going down, and my sister told me. And when my sister told me, I said, love, two fools feeling sorry for each other. I told her, I said, shut the hell up. That's my girl. We doing this and we going through this and this and this and this and that. Don't you even talk to her about her like that. Then my sister got killed. And my sister got killed. And I found out what the truth was, but I was never able to apologize to my sister. She was right all the time. Now I kind of got a tear, you know, like I felt it was guilt.
Guilt.
Like you took some female's word over somebody my sister was a rider, a Taurus, whatever. Man, my sister fight over, man. One time I was in a fight with some dudes. My sister came out with a knife and started stabbing people, scared me. Because we were just fighting at that time.
She come through
13. Like, hear people hollering like, what the hell? Hold up.
She getting to it.
Man, she was busy. About her brothers, she did not play.
Well, I want to ask you about, I think back to Mike Tyson, right? He when he went to jail, was he a Muslim before he went to jail?
No, he converted when he got in.
When he got into prison?
Yeah. A lot of people, they say when all else failed, turn to Islam.
Wow.
When a black man got nothing else, all the contracts, anything you need, turn to Islam. It's another way of life.
So when he comes home, that's where you see all of the fights. The Muslims, the nation is following him, going into the ring with him, and
right.
He basically now in that whole.
Well, he was in Orthodox Islam. We was with the Nation of Islam, but he was converted under Warf Deen, Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, that went on and became following behind some Jews, some Baalanians. They still had to be around white people. So,
well, that they moved that fight. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will be fighting November now.
They're fighting?
Yeah. Well, they said it was going to be fighting in July. Then it went to.
No, I think it's November.
November. I don't think they're going to fight.
I don't know if they're going to fight.
You don't think so?
They should have done and got it over with already.
I don't see it right now. It's too many. Jake Paul don't want that pressure. That's his name, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. He didn't want that pressure.
Yeah,
and then
his name.
It would be, to me, now my own little bitty opinion, Mike is too old. So, and right now this is white America, being white. You look at American Idol and they got talent. It's all white folks got talent now. Negroes don't have no more talent. We don't need your talent. So they do all the break dancing, all the pretty singing. It's somebody else.
That went viral.
You know what I'm saying? So if Mike fights him, it's fixed for Jake Paul to win.
Wow.
All Mike's trying to get is a payday. If he need a payday, he got so many other things. It's just the love of fighting. So what benefit was him fight and win off of Jake Paul?
Just the money.
Just the money. But Jake Paul elevates himself up. So white America is still the shrewdest people on the planet to me.
Wow. Man, I remember I had was going to go down to Shreveport, and I talked to somebody, and you knew some people in Shreveport, but 50 Cent just did a big event in Shreveport, and when he did it, I just talked about it. It went crazy on my channel. I was doing a review on it. I picked up on it before I came up here. Hurricane Chris was upset. He went all day long talking about the fact that they did this event down there. Hurricane Chris. Hey, baby.
That's the only thing he ever made, ain't it?
No, he had Halle Berry.
He had Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Yeah, that was one of his. Yeah,
what was Halle Berry?
He bought that song from somebody too.
Okay.
But anyway, he was pissed because he felt like 50 Cent came down there and he didn't really, invest into the local market. He brought outsiders in, and he felt like 50 need to get up and down there with that if he ain't going really like a check-in thing. Really like you come down here, you ain't called me, so I got a problem with that.
Nobody know you.
You ain't invite us.
Nobody know you. He contacted the people from Louisiana that he needed to contact.
Yeah, Bebe was there. The one who sang that song about Bebe. Bebe was there with all of them.
And my boy Bingo that we talked to before. Bingo knew about it.
Bingo.
So he checked in with the right folks. Everybody want to check in with no has-been.
So Hurricane Chris says that.
Hurricane Chris again. Where he from?
He's down from Shreveport.
No, he ain't that popular.
Well, 50 Cent said he gets no record play in his car. He would never call him like a one-hit wonder.
You're not relevant. Has he put up a studio in Shreveport too? What has he done? He got a whole establishment. He got I think 50 bought 20 acres of land.
Yeah, he did.
That's building a same thing that city was Tyler Perry is doing.
Yeah, they met up.
Okay, so what is
Hurricane
Tornado Chris, you say?
No, he's still trying to. He just want to make sure he gatekeep and make sure that everything.
He can't gatekeep what? Nobody know What'd you say his name is?
Hurricane Chris.
Tornado Chris need to set his ass down. You know, I kind of like the song "Hey Baby," but it was juvenile.
Yeah.
It didn't go nowhere. You know, it had no message on it.
No, it's just dancing. That's my song.
Just
Turn it up.
at that time.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody playing it in the clubs today.
What?
So we can say, well, shit, 50 didn't invite me either. The fuck?
Right.
Y'all gonna make me cuss.
That's what I was gonna say.
Man, I'm trying, y'all.
He didn't invite
He didn't
you.
invite me. Me and him better than that.
So you could have went crazy on him the same way. You
No,
let him
I
make
couldn't,
it.
because I ain't did shit either.
So you like Hurricane Chris?
Yeah, me and Tornado Chris in the same damn boat. One hit wonder. One hit wonder. I'm still hitting though, Chris. You better get your ass on your job. Yeah, wasn't Master P them there?
Yeah, Master P was there. Fredo Bangs was there.
The real people was there.
Wallow and Gilly was
Now
there.
you mad because you
Bubba Dub was there.
Bubba
Dub
Dub
was there. Bubba Dub was hosting it.
Bubba Dub was hosting.
He
Well, we
hosted.
was in Mississippi with Bubba
That's
Dub.
right. That's my boy. He always with me.
Well, Tornado, where was you? He wasn't even in Mississippi.
No, but he wouldn't let him. He feel like, okay, man, I should have been somewhere. Do you think he could have just pulled up and just supported the whole movement?
If he wanted to come,
Yeah.
he'd blow your ass up.
Go right in there and talk to 50.
You ain't have to talk to 50, just talk to the man and tell him if 50 come to Compton, I bet you I'm going in the building.
You going in there?
Shit.
Whoa, that's hard. So wait a minute, you said if 50 come to Compton.
If he come to Compton, raggedy, but I'm around here, wasn't invited, but I'm damn sure down here.
Ooh, you going in there?
In that 10 square miles. The work I done put in, the Tornado put in any work,
You got the biggest song in Shreveport.
he ain't got the biggest song.
Hey, Baby is the biggest song.
Well, Sweetport doing kind of bad if that's the biggest song.
It's one of the biggest songs.
No, now you said one of the biggest.
Well, I don't think there.
He ain't got no records bigger than Lil Wayne.
No.
He ain't got no records bigger than
Boosie from down in Louisiana.
yeah. So he ain't no Bootsy. When he was saying, "Hey baby," was that 2005?
It was way back. You
Yeah,
right. Boy,
man.
you hit it.
Like man, I remember that. I was with Barry Hankerson back then. Shit, I was back in the dark age. Like Rainwater told me, that was before the Jeffersons.
Man, shout out to Rainwater, man. So when you think about just all the stuff that goes on in these musicians, man, they be doing their thing and then they go through them phases, man. You think about Suge Knight and all the people that he worked with, all the stuff that he done. Do you think any of those guys reach out to him to this day?
For what?
He's locked up in prison. He's been gone a minute.
Yeah.
He was one of the key elements of death row. But now you got him in prison, in federal prison. Do you feel like people he worked with, Daz, Corrupt, the Dog Pound, now that they doing, the new death row, do you think they even talk to him at all?
Why would they?
I mean, because they had a history.
Their history was, you're the employer, I'm the employee. We had a working relationship. And then I look at it and I feel like, I didn't even get paid my just dues. So, shit, the king is dead, long live the king. Next person up. Some people have loyalties to you, but this is business.
When do you think he do you think it was when death row started? Because you started to hear about him getting knocked out. You started to hear about the disrespect before he went to prison. Like, where did it work? What made that start happening?
See, that's one of the craziest things I ever seen in the black element. That you get $1 million and then you want to be hood. I get $1 million, y'all ain't gonna see me no more.
So you saying Suge was not hood at all before the millions?
Nope.
That you know of?
You just dude is doing some stuff in the industry.
I think they played football or something.
They played football at UNLV. He came out here in Vegas, and she know him. They used to date.
No, so basically, you feel like he was just a guy who was, because he started off being a security guard. Right? I mean,
he had great hopes and great ideas for the hood. All the time, you can't take hood niggas to Beverly Hills. You got to drop them off at McDonald's, get them a Happy Meal, because everybody ain't for that life. And in America, when they saw the development of Death Row, they assigned him a mentor. And the mentor that they assigned him, he didn't like. You understand me? So when they, what's the dude on Soul Train?
Don Cornelius.
So Don Cornelius was supposed to mentor him. And so they assigned him certain friends because, you know, all this development, it's all created to give it the barrage of who you're supposed to be around and who you're supposed to be with. But he elected to be around some real niggas.
Wow.
And they really fucked him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't white America. In his inner circle corrupted him, and the people that he had advising him were the destruction of Death Row. It wasn't Suge himself, it was the entourage around him. When he let certain people in, you know, how do you become a security and become the CEO of Death Row? Security is the next thing to the janitor.
Wow.
So you let these people and you entrust them with your business and they mishandle it. Because that was their intent all the time.
Yeah. Wow.
Not loyalty, jealousy. Why should you have this? So he just tried to give too much for too little. The same way with Omar Bradley. Omar Bradley, the mayor, he tried to bring Compton back to a suburb. He did the best. He was giving convicts jobs. Would you rather have a convict with a job or breaking your house or selling dope? So everybody balked against what Omar, but he did it the wrong way, bucking against American, had street niggas. But they say, I told my brother one time, my brother was out selling dope and messed around, some youngsters come in, he out of the element. And him and 3 of the OGs get shot and all the rest of the youngsters get away. And I say, anytime the general gets shot, you got a weak army, huh? Mm-hmm. General ain't supposed to never get hit. So when Suge take a fall, when Omar take a fall, that means you got a weak army around you.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, you know, with him and Dr. Dre, because they end up having a child each by Michelle A., do you think
that was some of the dirtiest shit on the planet?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think because that's one of the dividing factors, because
but
if he was able to come back and make that right for as me and that thing with him and Dre, that would change the whole narrative. That
was this trajectory. That's what we were going to when all this stuff happened.
Okay.
With Dre, we were in talks. That was Terry. Terry had got Suge, and he has been talking to Dr. Dre. I involved me because I started Dre Day in 2014 in the city of Compton. And so I had a kind of association with Dre, and it all went bad that one day. You know, but we were trying to do the same thing that 50 and Game did. Yeah. After the little breakup, they got on the world stage and say, you could look, it was fake.
Yeah, but at least they tried.
But you know, they put them in. If you want to make music again, y'all got to deal with this. We ain't gonna have no New York and Compton beef. We're not going through a Tupac and Biggie thing. You dig what I'm saying? We just not gonna have it. So y'all got to mend this if you want money. So between Suge and Dr. Dre, we was losing a lot of money because people was coming in from out of town. They didn't have to come through us in Compton. They move up to Sherman Oaks, go out here and do what they had to do. So they deal with Dre. They didn't have to deal with Death Row. They deal with that. Once we come together, just like PIRU just coming together, now we're going to be a stronger force. Now you can't divide one from the other. Not right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when people try to cement a division, you dig? So that was the situation, and then this happened. But you know, like Malcolm said, the chickens come home to roost because you know, some of the ill deeds that you were a part of come back to bite you in the ass.
Wow. So this, because when you look at the Michelle A., she tells her story about Suge, and she tells a story about Dre in that documentary. She was very, very, she was in her way of saying what happened, she says she was abused by both of them.
But these women always try to be the victim. So now, what kind of tramp was you to have sex with Dre and then to go with Suge? So did Suge rape you?
No, he was treating her nice, giving her roses.
Okay, and then when they find you ain't worth shit, treat you like you are. It wasn't that Dre just abused her. She abused the privilege of being around Dre. I wasn't there, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So now she come up with these, they both abused me, but she got paid from both of them.
So you think it was more of an opportunity?
That's all of these women are opportunists.
Is that you think so?
I've been through my own share of abuse, but it's not. But I definitely was one pushing the button. It wasn't an opportunity type situation for me, but I do know there's a lot of women who are opportunists.
Yeah.
Try to get in like that. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a lot of money involved. That was millions of dollars in opportunity for her to try to grow her singing career
It's
as well.
It's just one click. It's just one click. That's something about some women today that I just don't like, that I just don't get down with, that money. I understand it, and we all need it, but that part when it comes into your relationships or your loyalty, that's crazy.
And I understand the money, but let's make it fair. If this is about my check and to get this, don't involve me into something. And I should have, man brain run through his penis. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know with all the opportunity, and that really boggles me about celebrities going like this broad superhead. Why would I want that's the whole thing with Diddy. He's the master of sloppy seconds. He loved other men's women.
But Superhead was a very beautiful woman.
No, she sucked everybody in the whole industry. What's beautiful about that?
No, but she
was a calm dropper.
But everybody they loved her.
That someone, man. No, this is,
Abuse, of course, abuse is not okay, but
abuse. Okay, okay. What's his name? We came out Suge. No, they were doing when Bobby Brown and Ja Rule did their video.
Okay.
And
I know you getting bored chilling. That's my song, man.
So we did that video and we were on the.
You was over there that day?
I was there.
Man, he do that little slide. When
they brought the helicopter in.
You gotta see it. Bobby Brown, a beast. He was sliding to the left,
so
and
Irv got it.
His mouth was twisting. I don't know if they know hit him or what.
We in the trailer, and so we on Alameda. So Irv Gotti telling Bob about this broad superhead, and like she spit on it and she suck it up. Who want that? That's nasty.
Irv was telling him about how she did him.
Yeah. And so
that was the first introduction.
And so they brought her.
I'm gonna say this right now. I was at this hotel in that tower, and I was over there with walking out the front door right there years ago. Me and Bobby Brown, and he was putting Superhead in the car right down there.
Okay,
I was right there, right here.
Was that 2000?
That was about 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He was still.
He got her and brought her over to the room. We was at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Yeah.
We was at the Roosevelt Hotel. She stayed with him that night. Went and got her little boy out of the valley from her mother's house, and kicked it with us. And anytime a woman will leave her 6-year-old child with 2 men she don't know, is a crappy kid to me. You dig what I'm saying? So Superhead, going through all these girls you can get, and I want your sloppy seconds. I'm not dealing with it.
All right, hold on.
I think about like when you look at Snoop and his wife, they opened up a whole. I think they did. His wife did a strip club in L.A. Did you know that?
No, sure.
Yeah,
when? Where's that?
I don't know how good it's doing, but she did one.
It's doing good.
Did you hear about it?
It's a male strip club.
Oh, it's a male. That's why
really?
everybody. It's mixed.
Mixed
I
with
think
what?
they do
There's no
male
women?
sometime and then women sometimes.
Snoop didn't get no women in this club?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm tripping on. I think
Well,
it's
I mean,
mixed.
he used to have one called, what was the name of that club? On Western and Florence, the Right Track. Right Track was a male strip club, and they closed the Right
Who
Track.
owned it?
Some black folks.
Some black folks.
Yeah, and they closed it down.
I want to ask you something, man. And this is since hip hop era, and I know you know, far as in California, on the West Coast, over in California in Compton, Who is an artist or that you've seen that gave back more to the city by building and opening up businesses and stuff like that? Any rapper artist, anybody that you know that created opportunity for blacks in the community?
Besides Nipsey?
Yes.
No.
Nobody besides Nipsey Hussle?
No. That's not one of the things that white America appropriates in the music business. You can invest your money in the March of Dimes, the Save Becky Fund, or the Dog Society, but you don't invest any money in Negroes. We don't do that, you know.
You don't do it.
That white America don't allow that.
I seen Jay-Z. He just reopened the 4040 Club up in New York. Lil Wayne was there. Lil Baby was there. Fat Joe was there. They pretty much got it back open. He's going full-fledged back to turning that club back up in the city. I don't know if anybody does that in L.A.
No.
There's no big wheel that's appropriating nothing like that.
And you don't have no clubs like that in LA. That's black. And you have to go to Hollywood. We got some black. You got La Louisiane, and that's over in West LA. But you don't have nothing in there. We don't have one black club in Compton at all.
Do you think
no black entertainment whatsoever?
Do you think that's something that is needed?
I mean, we have to go to other cities to go bowling. We have to go to other cities to go to the movies, you know. So we don't even have a Chuck E. Cheese in Compton.
No Chuck E. Cheese?
For the children. You got to go to Torrance or somewhere else. So a black community is just getting sucked up. And we have so many artists and athletes out of Compton. You know, they open up a park, open up an alley. But what the hell?
Wow. And I just think about like your boy, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar
been talking shit for 30 years and he ain't open this. He said some real good stuff. I mean, he went on that Harris girl real tough.
Yeah, I seen that.
What Harris girl? What
Carmelita,
and what did he say?
He was just indicting her on the things that she did to appropriate for when we make laws, just like under the George Floyd. You ever heard of George Floyd?
Yeah.
Okay, George Floyd was a black man got killed by the police.
Yeah.
So they tried to make a George Floyd bill. Biden or Harris never endorsed the bill at all. So then later on, while they were doing the movements, a couple of Asian ladies in California got beat up. Out of all these years, all of a sudden, they start attacking these Asian women or old men. And so Kamala Harris and Biden came out here, went to the state Supreme Court, went to the Senate, and the Supreme Court made a law against abusing Asians, right? Mm-hmm. That's just for Asians. Gave them money, millions of dollars for people abusing Asians. Then they turned right around under the same banner as George Floyd, the same administration, Harris and Biden, endorsed the LGBTQ for assaulting the gay community and they made a law just for gays. But when they make a law, when it comes to blacks, everybody profits off of it. We don't get a private black law. So you help everybody else, but they haven't stopped police from killing black kids or black people. Had a lady just said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and the police shot her in the head 3 times.
Absolutely disappointing.
Straight killer, and nobody's hollering about that.
Right.
Where's our rights as blacks? Kamala Harris she didn't protest that. She don't feel that damn black, you know? So all these that talk about, I wasn't supposed to say that. Well, anyway, support her Look at her actions. It's all they are. A lady told me one day, she says, everybody want our rhythm, but they don't want to go through our blues.
Wow.
So Kamala Harris went through, I was in a black fraternity, a sorority, and I voted black and I've been black, but you ain't never got beat by the police. You ain't got raped by a master. You give it up to master every morning. You go to bed with somebody that don't look like you and wake up every morning with somebody that don't look like you. Our slave master, not yours, but our slave master, you look at him every morning and say, good morning, honey.
Wow.
So if she is that involved with a white man, what do you think she think about my black ass?
Right. Dr. Umar would say something very similar to that.
So Umar, I give him a 1.5 on that one.
Wow.
All the rest of his rhetoric is bullshit. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say
All of it is what?
Bullshit.
Another thing, Kevin Gates punches a YouTuber for just punches him.
He been slapping folks and kicking them and stuff.
Yeah, I think he said something to him, or he felt disrespected, so he bops him in his head.
Okay.
You can see it.
It's gonna cost him.
Yeah, that's what I said when I seen it.
It's gonna cost him.
It was a little bit of a. It didn't look bad if you look at it. It was
Shit, I wish he just
bopped you, huh?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Hold on, there it go right here. They don't really show it. You see that he walk out holding his head. He done got hit right there. Hold on. When he walk out the door, he knocked him on out the door. So
see, he hit him hard enough.
he hit him hard.
Yeah, he's still walking.
He's still thinking.
Yeah, you walking and you holding your head, boy, something was wrong.
It wasn't hard enough.
It wasn't hard enough.
Supposed to popped it.
They throwing one of them raggedy rights and they don't work.
It don't work.
No,
you got to get it right. You got to square off on it.
Man, he should have been looking up.
Looking up.
What happened?
Man, so man, when you go back and you think about all the stuff that you done encountered, man, dealing with Mike Tyson, dealing with Bobby Brown, Ray J, helping Ray J and them that day, like these are things. Do you regret doing all those things that you done in that career?
Hell no, I don't regret it. The only thing, and if it's a regret at all,
I'm just saying, I know exactly what you about to say.
What?
Go ahead. I think it's about Bobby walking in on him.
No, that was.
You didn't regret that?
Yeah, well, I regret I didn't have a camera. I regret I didn't have a camera. We'd have been on it, but it'd have been on it.
What was the
The
regret?
little old cameras, they didn't work.
No, you had to have one. You get the Polaroid. You got to take it.
Yeah, to get them developed. It had what was the Nextel phone?
Yeah, we didn't have. It didn't have a camera on it.
Yeah, they didn't have a camera on it at that time. But no, just what I put my mother through.
Wow.
You know, that it affected her because she wasn't always that type of person. Redhead really wasn't hoodlum like. She started off from Jackson, Mississippi. And when you look back now, the humiliation that she had to go through dealing with these Peckerwoods coming to see me in prisons, standing outside for hours, driving from Compton to San Francisco, going over to San Quentin, 6-hour drive.
Wow.
Because she didn't drive in no planes. You know, her and my partner Jesse's mother coming to see us every week or like twice a month. You know, my mother didn't know even how to drive on the freeway until I got arrested.
Wow, she had to learn.
She had to come, and her and my grandmother got on the freeway. Would have never been on the freeway in their life. You know, so any of that, if I could have took that burden off of it, it would have been a lot better. You know, but it was an education for me. I've seen some of my friends that I grew up with that never been to prison in bad shape. They should have came. You know, I learned a lot. I wouldn't be the man that I am with the discipline, you know, that I have had it not been for prison.
Wow.
You know, because in San Quentin, one thing you could say about Bastille by the Bay, whatever you said out of your mouth, you better bring your ass with it.
Wow, you better.
If I told you, fuck you tonight, in the morning, somebody gonna die, somebody rolling about that prison.
Wow.
Everybody was a killer. Everybody, homosexuals and all. The warehouse, everybody came there, was a killer.
Well, you know, like I said, you gonna get a lot of backlash for dragging Tyrese for crying.
Tyrese, he didn't cry at Fast and the Furious. he had 5 of them.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them. He might have been 7. He about 5 of them for sure.
I done seen him jump out of a helicopter and fall on his head. He didn't cry then.
He didn't even cry.
Shit. Now all of a sudden,
everything's sentimental to him.
When he making a record.
What do you think about him crying? You a woman, I'm gonna hear your perspective.
About men crying?
About Tyrese crying, and do you think...
Well, and men in general, she don't even know Tyrese. She wasn't even born with Tyrese.
She know Tyrese.
Bald.
See, that's all she knows about.
No
Where is he from?
I don't know where he's from.
See, she don't know shit.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't.
Don't get to mumbling now. What you think about men crying?
I don't like seeing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like.
Don't no real woman want to see no man cry.
I don't like seeing men cry. But
weirdo.
If something happens like a death in the family, like I'm gonna see you and I'm gonna comfort you. But I don't like when it starts taking over. It's been 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and now it's excuses, and now it's not accepting what you said is guilt or stuff like that, and now it's just who you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you start falling into that. That's just like, another one that cry a lot.
Ooh.
Busta Rhymes. And you see him put on a red dress.
I seen that.
Yeah, that's another weak, sentimental. Oh, my body, and then now that nigga got a dress on.
Do you think he put that? It was a red dress.
Disrespectful ass.
But I'm just saying, why do you think why would you?
I don't know. This is a fad now.
Do you think because there's a lot of men that have put on dresses.
Not a lot.
Yeah, the actors.
Not no real men.
Do you have a problem with actors putting on dresses?
That ain't an act. You got some gay tendencies. It's something about you. Some people.
Oh, you telling me if they offered you $20 million, you wouldn't put that dress on?
If they asked me to put on pants and I was getting a certain check of money, I'd put on some pants.
You telling me you wouldn't put that dress on for
$20 million? I don't know. I might put the dress on. I didn't say I wanted to go reproach, nigga. I can't be bought, but you can rent me out.
Then they be like, man, Mark put that dress on,
Mark
man.
Put that
dress be an OG dress put on.
But the one thing about it, you ain't got to worry because ain't nobody gonna offer me $20 million. That's a fantasy.
Just for the dress, huh? Just for the dress. That's a stretch, huh?
Look, anybody that got a taker that get a dress and gonna give me $20 million, test me. See if I do it. Because they always talk that shit because they ain't got nothing. They whoop the wham. I love 50 because 50 and Nas got into it one time, right? And Nas told 50 that he had lost his street credibilities. He wasn't hood. That's when he was Nostradamus underground rapper, and he did all this, and it was culture this. And 50 had just won, I think, to Russia, made $180 million, and he was rich. And he told, man, you done lost your hood path. And so he said, you changed. And 50 come back and say, well, bruh, the only reason you don't change is you ain't got enough money, right? Everybody changed with money. About 3 years later, Jay-Z gave Nas like $3 million to come over, and he put on a button-down shirt, and 50 got right back at him. Nigga, you put on a button-down shirt, you changed, got a tight ass for $3 million.
Damn.
Where your hood pass at?
Wow, and that's the way it be. What goes around come around like a hula hoop.
Yeah, everything changes. That's like people tell you, man, I'm still in the trenches. This is 2020. You know what a trench is? Do you know what a trench is?
A ditch?
It's a hole in the ground.
Right.
We're in Pit House right now.
Already.
I give a damn about a trench. It's raining and you in a trench.
Man.
No, we're not in the trenches anymore.
No more trenches.
Yeah, hell, fuck a trench.
Nobody
I'm gonna fill it up.
You filling it up?
Stick a body in there and fill it up.
Oh, man. Shout out to OG PIRU, man. He's back in the building, man. Yes. So, man, listen. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. We gonna bring you back to Texas, man. We gotta get you back to Texas, back to the studio.
I got to get back to Texas.
You be running around when you get
them strippers in Texas, boy, they work hard for their money.
Then.
Go,
yeah, it's going down.
Look at them is some honest girls. Like, girl, whoa, my goodness, y'all ain't got a light out here. Like
they got a light.
No, we want them Texas girl.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. How can people get a hold of you if they trying to rock out?
Man, come down Rosecrans.
Before we go, one thing else, man. I'm gonna bring it up one more time, man. My boy Game them came down through Rosecrans and
Beautiful
YG,
thing.
man. Like you that, like I said, you was out there. That whole movement was dope. That was just a few days ago. Like when you look at that and the momentum move, the way that thing happened, it basically changes the temperature that some, rival gangs that never was rocking with each other in a long time, they come together and now they say it's a ceasefire or a peace.
Yeah.
What does that do for the community as you ride through or as you talk to each other? You see more union now?
Well, you see enhancement of that gives into being a productivity. We were in a state of just bland for years because
How many years?
With a fruit town and treetops over 35 years from 1988. From the first killing was 1988 to 2024. Longest rivalry in history in Compton. And they right across the street from each other. We got relatives, blood relatives. One's a treetop, one's a fruit town. So now it's a cohesive bond again. It's a beautiful thing, And most of the youngsters, they don't even know why they mad. They just mad because you say they mad.
So they just rolling with the flow.
You know what I'm saying? You say, oh, we hate them. You got people calling me right, Marv. Man, ain't no more beef. Because you got New Jersey, you got South Carolina, you got North Carolina, you got Memphis, Tennessee. Them PIRUs ain't got a dog in this fight. They just heard about it. We don't mess with them. Why not? If you're a PIRU from the moon, it's supposed to be PIRU love. So now I done brought it back with the love, L-U-V.
With the love.
The love.
Wow. And we listened to that old Game. Game pulled up. You say he was in the road. He was in the, what was he in?
Black Rose, Brian.
Black Rose Roy.
Jumped out there like it was the thing to do. And everybody
he acknowledged that he acknowledged you because I seen y'all on pictures before. He acknowledged that boss talk comment you
man,
made.
Look here. Oh, come on, man. Let's have it with it. Let's do this.
Man, that's
right
good.
There. Yeah.
I like it, man. So, and did you get to speak to YG or you didn't speak to him?
Yeah, I seen YG too. He because I had to crack on him a little while back. He was doing a video, and one of the originators of Treetops, because he lived next door to my mother's house on Elm Street when they moved over, Tony Lane, and so I just met YG, had just come in, and so he was doing his video, and I asked him like, bruh, Tony Lane, your OG homeboy. Tony had a stroke and he was in the hospital. You been to see me? Like, nah, homie, I ain't been. You sending any flowers over there? Nigga, that's your OG homie. With these niggas who drinking and shit. I'm, oh man, I don't care nothing about that. Do what you're supposed to do. He's like, bam. Then he messed with Sway Lee and Slim. So he messed with my nephews and stuff. So we have good reaction.
How important is it like to see, something like that, a situation where you got to bring a person up? I don't call a person out when they're younger. You bring a person up because they may just need to hear that.
Hear it. If you don't say it, I don't know it. I may think I'm doing all right, but I may, man, have you checked with E? Check with E? Nah. Nigga, ain't he put you in a position where you are now? You claiming a hood that he started.
The pull up.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. So like, bam, you got to give him something to think about.
What about even the game? Like when you told him what you told him, just bringing that subject up to say y'all wasn't out here when all the PIRUs was out here, that's like still just an OG pull-up. Like,
yeah, just
hey,
like, man, yeah, I'm here.
Y'all supposed to have been out
I ain't
here.
in politics, but I'm here.
He just showed you he will pull up.
Man, I'm on Rosecrans. Okay, nigga, you talking, where you going? I ain't got it.
But I just thank God, man, that y'all, they look at the gang life and they look at the way that y'all hang together and they want to discredit the unification of brothers coming together. And I think that you are true, somebody I can look at and see that leadership or that that mentality to say, hey man, let's do the right thing when it comes to the people that came before us and that lived in these same neighborhoods, that lived on these same streets. I think the structure part of it a lot of times get misconstrued because one or two bad apples might do something that's contrary to what everybody might even be dealing with at the time. And everything that you standing on is stuff that says community and the street I live on will be respected.
Right.
You won't
Absolutely.
be disrespecting where we at over here in these neighborhoods.
Right.
And that goes not only for the people that's coming in and out of them, but that go for police and everybody else.
That's
if you
right.
come in here, you got to come in here and you got to come in and respect what we got as a community.
And,
I think
that's the structure we need.
Yes. If you had something like that, maybe Sonia don't have to end up calling that police, and maybe she's able to get that rectified without somebody coming there blowing her head off. Sonia Massey. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to have that connection with the community, it gives our women and our children a way to say, hey, let me make it. Back in the day when I was young, you made a phone call.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't call the police. You say, this boy down there cutting up. You called the next door neighbor.
Right.
And he come down there and get on that boy, even if the daddy ain't there. Daddy couldn't even be in the house, but uncle might come. Cousin might come and say, nigga, who you talking to your mama like that?
Right.
And you check that right there. And that stops you from having to call the police.
That's right. Control your own community.
Yeah, and then you'll save lives in your community.
That's right.
If we just stand up and do what's right.
You heard that from Boss Talk 101.
What a boss is talk, man. Man, thank you so much, man. And thank you, man. Essie, man, from Vegas is going down. One of the coldest, dopest dudes I know. OG PIRU is in the building. Ayatollah Marv, man.
There we go.
Man, thank you so much, man. It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101.
Yes, Boss
where
Talk.
the bosses talk.
Woo!